Well, hello, folks, and welcome to the Melhorn Fishing Podcast. I hope you're having a good day, whatever day it is that you happen to be listening or watching the show on YouTube. We're going to talk a little bit about catfishing right now and what's going on right here around July 4th. Going to give you guys, some of y'all that are going out this weekend, just a little something to keep in mind. But I just want to say I'm coming to you from a different location than normal. Not on the water, not in the studio. I'm actually in my hotel room. I'm up in Chicago at the NASCAR race. We're doing some live streaming up here. Sadly, it's not for my YouTube channel, but it's for some other influencers on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. So if you're at the race this weekend, I know there's not a lot of hardcore catfishing folks in Chicago, but if you happen to be at the race, I know there's a lot of NASCAR fans out there, and you see me, come say hello. Love to hear from you. I think it'd be cool to see some people up here that follow the channel in Chicago. We ran into a couple of people last year, so I know they're around. I know they exist up here in Chicago, but it's great weather. It's really a lot cooler than what we're experiencing in the South, which is kind of nice, so I'm enjoying that. But anyway, a lot of you folks are going to be out fishing this weekend. I'm just going to give you a heads up on a few things that I've been seeing. I've been on the water this week, was doing some guide trips, and I've noticed that the shift has started to take place with catching blues again and flatheads too. I've got some buddies that are out fishing. I haven't caught any flatheads, man. Them things, I haven't really targeted them, but I haven't even had any accidental catches with them. But they're starting to bite. A lot of the smaller ones are starting to feed. I think the flatheads may take just a little bit longer, but I say all this to say some bigger blues are starting to show up. Some of the males, the beat up spawning males, are starting to show up. I'll have some videos out about this. I think I've got one coming out Sunday and some next week, but it's starting to make a shift. I'm going to give you a couple of little pointers and some things to keep in mind as you get out there this weekend if you're trying to fish. First of all, it's July 4th weekend. So just keep in mind that any of the public fishing areas are going to probably be crowded. There are going to be a lot of people out because a lot of people are off work. The other thing is, if you're on a lake, river, anywhere that has a pretty good bit of, boat traffic, expect probably the busiest weekend you'll see all year. This is typically the busiest weekend, so that's going to affect your fishing. Quite honestly, it's not the best time to be out there fishing. And, it's just between the boat traffic, the crowds, depending on where you're at in the country, the heat. If you're in the Southeast, I think another heat warning is in effect for the weekends. Up here where I'm at in, Chicago is actually kind of nice. It'd be some great fishing weather, but depending on where you're at, it's going to be hot. So you've got a lot of stuff going against you. So keep that in mind going out. Don't get frustrated if you're going fishing. Expect to experience all this stuff. Now, with that said, there are some ways to still catch fish, and this is what has worked for me on the guide trips that I've been running recently. The biggest thing is go early. I have tried my best to begrudgingly drag my clients out there at like 5 o'clock in the morning and fish from like 5 till maybe 11. I run 6-hour trips generally. If you can get out there at 4 o'clock in the morning, I mean, man, you've got the pick of the locations if you're bank fishing. If you're on the water, you got the best parking spots at the boat ramp, and you're going to miss the boat traffic. Now, what I've seen is one of two things have happened on these trips. Either A, they bit really good right before the sun got above the trees, or we didn't get bit until after the sun was up. With that in mind, we did have a day, I think it was 2 days ago, where we were getting bit middle of the day. The bite was kind of slow to begin with. We picked off some fish, and then boom, middle of the day, all of a sudden we started catching fish around 11 or 12 o'clock. So that's my computer going off in the background over there over my shoulder. It's, you're going to have that thing. My suggestion is go early. Just get out there to avoid the heat. It's not crowded. It's peaceful. It's beautiful. It's a better time of the day to be out there. But with that said, like I said, there's the middle of the day bite has worked. The thing there is I'm able to fish, on these guide trips. I'm in a boat. I'm in the middle of the lake. I'm in the middle of the water. It's different than what's going on if you're bank fishing and you're close to shore, where the shore is getting pounded with waves and stuff is churned up. A lot of times it's not the best place to be fishing once boat traffic gets up. So that's why I say if you're bank fishing, get out early if you can. If you're going at night, a lot of people like to go at night. My suggestion is go home, take a nap, wake up at 8 o'clock as the sun's going down, and then head out. Because generally speaking, especially when you have July 4th weekend boat traffic, you're going to get pounded for a while. It's going to take a while for stuff to settle down. The drunks will stay out later than normal. So you may not get into good fishing until, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. So something else to keep in mind there. Some of you are going to wonder about bait, that kind of thing. Honestly, you'll see in the videos coming out, we went back to trying the shrimp baits again. And I'll go ahead and give you a spoiler alert. If you don't want to know what happens in one of the videos coming up, close your ears, hit pause. I think on one of the trips we caught 12 fish. 11 of them came on shrimp, and that was all drifting when we're not anchored, which can be a little bit frustrating when fishing with those baits, because shrimp is almost like using threadfin shad or chicken liver. It gets hit 1 or 2 times and boom, it's gone. So you have to rebait constantly. I think we would have caught more fish if there had the shrimp been able to stay on the hook better, because when you're fishing with shrimp, it's like fishing with a lot of soft baits. You have to check those baits every so often. So bottom line is it's working. I think the chicken baits are going to work too, because a lot of these fish that we're catching, the female blues especially, that start to get a little bit bigger, are feeding on mussels. They're on the mussel beds, they're on the mussel flats feeding, which is typical this time of year post-spawn. Not every place has these widespread mussel beds, and you guys that are fishing in like community ponds, community lakes, it's going to be a different dynamic there, and you're probably going to need some different baits. So, you may be going with night crawlers or something like that. You're not going to have that, deposit of mussels that you have. Not that chicken won't work there, but it will. But it seems like smaller baits are working right now. I don't know why that is. It's not that you can't catch fish on a bigger bait, but we have dragged bigger baits for 3 trips this week, and we never caught a fish on one of the bigger head sections or body sections. So there's fish out there to lead them. If all you want to catch is big fish, then swing for the fence, throw a bunch of big baits, but don't complain when you don't catch a fish, because it's probably because you may be putting a bait out there that the fish are not, oriented towards. I don't know why that is. I don't know if that has something to do with their stomach, the way they're foraging, how they're feeding. Who knows what it is. Just try to adapt to what's working. So that's kind of my take on it. It's just something for you guys to think about if you're heading out this weekend. Be safe out there. If you're in a boat, man, be careful. Look out for the idiots on the water. I've already seen some reports on Facebook, some boating accidents. There's some people that have already drowned right outside where I'm at in Charlotte. There's somebody drowned in Lake Norman. It's going to happen. Going into the water is always dangerous if you're out there swimming. So be careful. And have fun, stay safe, stay hydrated, especially if you're in the South where it's really, really hot. Stay hydrated. You'll enjoy the experience a lot better if you feel good. So I appreciate you guys checking it out. We'll catch you on the water.